Alright. Last night I did this. So I've actually done this already. Last night I did it. It was an hour long. That was too long of a video. I'm glad to be doing it again. This time I'm going to target a more 30-minute video instead of an hour. Also, there were some technical issues where I was a 5-minute lag. The audio was lagging behind the video. Then it probably had something to do with the fact that my computer wasn't set up right. So I've lowered the quality to 480. I'm probably going to do the same for the YouTube video, lower it to 480 quality as well, because this isn't about the quality of the video, it is about the quality of, well, the video. But not the video as in the picture quality, the video as in Screw Attack versus this was bad, I'm going to start again. Hey everyone, so I've actually already done this video once, but it came out terrible, so I'm doing it again. And here's what I'm going to do, because instead of doing 1 hour like I did last night and being a bad video, I'm going to make this a really good video. We're going to try to target around the 30-minute mark, maybe a little more. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss the video. We're going to watch the whole video through, but first we're going to watch the fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the fight. I've already seen it, but I'm going to pretend like I'm reacting to it for the first time, and I'm going to show you what my original reactions were. And after that, we'll actually run through the entire video, and I'll give you my thoughts on just, I think Screw Attack did an amazing job with this video. So, go ahead and minimize there. We've got the video all set up, ready to go. I just want to double check that according to this. So thumbs up. There is a significant delay here, but I want to see thumbs up. There we go. So there is a delay of a couple of seconds, but I think that we're okay. Let's get to it.
Right now, it's time for a death battle!
I was originally thinking, pretty good animation here.
What's that energy? Is that a hollow?
No, it's not a hollow.
I sense a presence.
Oh good, they got comments.
Wake up.
Just remember, I'm reacting like it's my first time watching this. I've already seen it, but I'm going to pretend it. I'm going to pretend I haven't seen it before.
Whoa, he's invisible!
You can't see me?
You'll be able to sense him, I know that much.
Quit running, coward!
He's not a coward.
Naruto, keep moving. I'll direct you.
You're dead!
Gotta be a coward.
How the heck?
Second is barrage.
I see you.
When it's the set.
Bring it on! Ketsuya Jutsu!
Break that face.
Transform!
Really?
Hey, it tricked it for a second. Only a second, but it tricked it for a second. Think of those fans that was there to show that form.
Yo, not bad, but I'm still gonna beat your ass.
I killed
Give me a
Naruto already.
freaking break. Is that the best you can do?
Yeah, so I actually thought Naruto was going to lose when that happened when I first watched it. When this happened, I honestly... I can't give you the legitimate reaction that I had when this actually happened in the video, because I was shocked that they were actually going to let Naruto win until I saw the math.
Screw you, bastard!
Because Ichigo did God.
Phew! Who was that guy?
I was like,
KO!
I was half expecting him to get up again. Now, one thing I am going to discuss really quickly. I just want to make sure that things look okay over here. Yeah, things look like they're actually not that delayed tonight. So, because I lowered the quality of the stream from 720 to 480. So things look like they're actually going good. Hooray. Now, I know, let's get some of the first thing, before I go back and discuss the whole video, let's get a couple of things out of the way first. Yes, I've seen many reaction videos to this fight, which is why I thought I'd just do one. Obviously, the reactions I just gave you aren't my original legitimate reactions to when I had seen the fight. But to discuss it really quickly, I did legitimately think when he used Mugetsu that Naruto had lost. Then he came back at it with Naruto's full form, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually deviate from the original video last night, and I am going to do the math first. I'm going to react to this math first, and then maybe we'll go back and watch the first parts of the video, and I'll do a more, we'll go back and watch the first parts of the video where they like actually fully describe the characters, and we'll discuss them there. But briefly, I just want to show you why I believe Screw Attack got things right. In my original video, I actually mentioned that I had only, before this fight, seen 2 other Screw Attack fights. The first I ever saw was Charizard versus one of the Digimon, I forget which one. One of the Dragon Digimon. And if I recall correctly, the Digimon won. I don't remember if there were facts to back up that victory, but I was pretty sour about it, because I liked Pokemon more than Digimon. But I wasn't super salty, like some ICHIGO fans have been. And there have actually been, as I said in my original video, plenty of Bleach fans that have actually taken this loss with grace. So thank you for those fans who have taken the loss with grace. You know, I would have done the same. But the math kind of is in Naruto's favor. And now, yes, that's the other thing. Some of the math is probably wrong. But when you see just how much of a gap there is between the math for Ichigo and the math for Naruto and how they describe it, it does make Naruto seem pretty OP compared to Ichigo. Before we do that though, the other battle I saw was actually Gaara versus Toph, and I was pissed that Gaara lost. I was like, Gaara would kick her butt. And then I remembered that they were using end of series Gaara, and as such, you know, what makes Naruto so OP? It's that he's one of the 2 Jinchuriki at the end of the series that still has their tailed beast. The other being Killer Bee still has 8 tails. Like, actually in them and able to lend the power lend them their power at a moment's notice. Now Gaara, at the beginning of the series, controlled Shukaku, wasn't friends with him, controlled him, kind of. And then later in the series, you know, even though they didn't really become friends, but like part on good term, like there was like an apology from Gaara to Shukaku for using him. You would have had to see the Naruto series to get it all. Point is, Shukaku and the two goes with the 1, 2, 3, all the way up to the 7 tails. 7 tails and the 1 tails and the 2 tails and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 tails, they just go free. They leave their Jinchuriki. They don't have to stick around anymore. They choose not to stick around anymore, and 1 tails Shukaku does not stay with Gaara, which means Gaara is not OP, so him losing to Toph actually makes sense. So I can actually concede, yes, he would lose to Toph, especially with Toph's ability to turn Gaara's sand into a weapon to use against him. So that was a pretty cool thing. But let's go into the math here and discuss this battle.
Damn, even without his powers, Ichigo never gave up. What a badass.
So this was a big, I'm seeing many Bleach fans having a problem with Mugetsu being used. When we go back to talk about if I go back and talk about the other video, they mentioned something about true Bankai and true Shikai. I think I have this flip. True Shikai and true Bankai being forms after the true ones being forms after Mugetsu. See, now I think that Screw Attack thought Mugetsu, despite the fact that he had true Shikai and true Bankai, I don't think they thought that those two were more powerful than Mugetsu, because Mugetsu essentially sacrifices his powers, as you saw in the battle. It really does do that, and that's why I thought Naruto was in trouble. So I would say that it would be a pretty good guess that maybe Mugetsu would be Ichigo's most powerful move, even if he did. Now, another thing is I hear that the battle was too short. So yeah, maybe he should have used the true Shikai and Bankai. But if we're using end of series, wouldn't that mean that the Bankai, he's using true Bankai anyway? I honestly don't know, because as much of a Naruto fan as I am, and a Bleach fan, I didn't even know until I saw this video that he had a true Shikai and a true Bankai, because I stopped watching when the anime ended. I know, shame on me. I still haven't seen the last Naruto the movie yet either, but I know the plot. And now I know the plot of the end of Bleach.
Yes. Sorry, Bleach fans. I know you all really wanted to win, but unfortunately, this wasn't it.
And they are about to do a really good job. Say what you want, they do a really good job defending themselves as to why they truly believe that Naruto would win this.
Naruto had better training, a broader arsenal, and a better healing factor. And Ichigo's invisible ghost body didn't really matter.
Shinigami may be invisible, but they're still present in the physical realm and can be touched by normal people. Kurama can locate individuals by simply sensing their emotions, and Naruto's even seen his own soul before.
And with 6 paths power, he can see and...
And just to be clear, the reason that I'm going to go back and do the introduction to Naruto and the introduction to Ichigo is I'm going to correct some things about each character that they could have maybe done a little better. I'll be more correcting stuff for Ichigo that I know here, but Naruto, they say a couple things wrong about Naruto, at least to my knowledge, and I am very knowledgeable about Naruto.
Fight Madara's Limbo clones, even though they were on a totally separate plane of existence.
Also
Technically, he couldn't physically see Madara's clones, but he could sense their presence and movements to a degree which he could hold on in a fist fight with them.
keep in mind that while Chakra and Reishi have fairly different uses, they both contain spiritual energy.
Naruto's Senjutsu and Ichigo's Reishi are comparable in that they access natural occurrent energy around you.
Let's talk speed. Naruto can dodge light speed attacks and can move faster than lightning. A lightning bolt's return stroke is 220 million miles per hour, about 1/3 the speed of light. Ichigo has also displayed lightning fast speeds, and even greater.
Near the end of the series, Ichigo took a trip that should have taken 7 days, but instead took 9 hours and 15 minutes.
It's likely Kirigi here was referencing his accomplice's speed, like Ichibei, who can knock his foes 2,440 miles away and appear next to him in a second. Yuachi guy beat him by going twice as fast, so we'll use that as Ichibei's limit.
With that, we can get the trip's total distance and conclude Ichigo's top speed speed is 319 million miles per hour. That's massively hypersonic, but not quite light speed.
Still, there's a difference between travel speed and reaction speed, as Naruto's already shown. Comparing them directly, Ichigo's best reaction should clock in at around 970 million miles per hour.
I have a problem with this. Not that it's wrong, but you didn't show us the work. Whereas you show us the formulas for pretty much everything else in here, you didn't show us the work to show that Ichigo's reaction speed. You basically said, well, if Naruto's reaction speed is that much faster than his travel speed, or fighting speed, whatever you want to call it, then it must be the same amount for Naruto. I didn't do any calculations myself, but I don't think reaction speed would be the same percentage for Ichigo as it would for Naruto, so I don't know if that's accurate. But as I said, I am willing to give speed to Ichigo any which way for this reason.
40% faster than light speed and Naruto's reaction time.
This reason.
Alright, point for Ichigo.
Speed alone wasn't enough, though, especially since Naruto's Sage powers gave him superb field awareness, making it difficult for Ichigo to land a fatal blow.
And Naruto had a bunch of shadow clones that could have taken many chances, and one of them was bound to hit.
If he could even land something fatal at all.
Ichigo has always had a tough time damaging foes who have stronger spiritual energy than him. With that said, let's compare his Ryatsu to Naruto's chakra.
Bad news is, across both of them, the only multiplier we know for sure is Ichigo's times 10 Bankai. The times 10 is difficult to achieve, but for Ichigo's sake, let's assume he gets the maximum possible boost from every transformation.
His other forms likely don't boost his stats this much. For example, when he used his Hollow Mask to barely overpower an Arrancar, the situation and its results were similar to his then comparable Shinigami friends releasing their limiters, which gave each of them a boost of times 5. However, let's give the benefit of the doubt and apply the maximum times 10 increase to all of Ichigo's forms that clearly increased his fighting potential, as well as stack them even though many forms were in separate unconnected power sets.
For the sake of argument, we're deliberately overestimating Ichigo's power. You'll see why.
So here's our formula, but where do we start? Okay, Bankai Ichigo with his Hollow Mask was on par with Ukiyora's first transformation, correct?
Well, nearly.
Ukiora states his new form can destroy the city of Las Noches in the hollow world of Hueco Mundo.
What's that, like Mexican hell?
Well, there is a wall.
Ha-ha!
Joke.
Las Noches is square in shape and takes 3 days to walk from one corner to a gate in the center of the wall. So it has a total area of 200,000 square miles.
That's bigger than California,
Don't worry, the
and
math
destroying
gets
it in
easier
one
starting
go
now.
needs over 400,000 megatons of TNT.
So plug that into the formula and there you have it. Ichigo's Ryatsu.
So you can see that they're actually taking the 440, basically 441 thousand megatons of TNT, megatons of TNT, and plugging it in right there. The part of I froze it in a bad place. Let me see if I can go back a little bit.
Oh, it has a total area of 200,000 square miles.
That's bigger than California, and destroying it in one go needs over 400,000 megatons of TNT.
So plug that into the formula and
They're plugging it basically into so not basic Ichigo, not the second two forms. They're plugging it right there into that Hollow Mask form, I believe. Yeah, the Hollow Mask form, and then they're doing times 10 for each of the forms that he has, which, as they said, are usually separate from each other, and they're stacking them even. So it's like, wow, and like Fullbring Ichigo was, like they mentioned in a thing there, like he was weaker than his like true Shikai and true Bankai, which are on the final end, and they're giving him this times 40 each. And really, if each of these is his power times 10, even if true Shikai and true Bankai, this might be a knock on the fight, but even if true Shikai and true Bankai are that, they likely are maximum times 10 and not stacked on some of these other forms. They could be. So I just don't see a way for it to be more than this.
And there you have it. Ichigo's Reiatsu is equal to over 440 billion megatons of TNT.
57,000 Naruto's chakra.
57,000 times the... Whatever, it said something about how it's like 57 times the entire world's nuclear arsenal.
Level is much easier to figure out.
His chakra was once extracted and burst a hole through the hollow moon.
In a movie that I have not yet seen, but do know that it is canon. Yes, the movie is canon. The last Naruto the movie is canon. The Boruto movie was canon, and then they announced the television series in the Boruto movie was instantly decanonized. But they won't be decanonizing the Naruto, the last Naruto the movie. That's going to stay canon.
He survived the explosion, and it was explicitly said that this was nearly all of his chakra.
Most of his chakra has been siphoned off.
By measuring the aftermath from both sides, we found the blast to equal at least 480 billion megatons of TNT. 40 billion more than Ichigo.
And don't forget, we were deliberately overestimating him.
I'd say by a lot, but again, my calculations could be wrong. It could even maybe be a little stronger, but earlier in the video I mentioned one big thing, and that was a giant power gap. Here it is.
Also, this was base form Naruto, not including any increases from additional modes, which allowed him to block an attack that cut the moon in half, a force that had to be over 27 trillion megatons. This proves Naruto can both output and survive a blast stronger than Ichigo is capable of.
Well, I want to go back for a second, because I actually just noticed something that I didn't notice even last night recording this.
40 billion more than Ichigo.
And don't forget, we were deliberately overestimating him.
Also, this was base form Naruto, not including any increases from additional modes, which allowed him to block an attack that cut the moon in half.
Assuming similar dimensions to the real moon, the energy needed to split a hollow version is 115 octillion joules. So they did do it. They did. Aha, I knew it. I knew it. A lot of people have been saying that, well, that was the moon was hollow. They did take into account that the moon was hollow. They did. Huh. So now I am 100% sure that this calculation is correct that they make. It says right here in this little thing up in the corner that they did take into consideration the moon was hollow and not a normal moon that's full in the middle. So guess what? This calculation they have of the 27 trillion megatons is correct. So that just proves it.
A force that had to be over 27 trillion megatons. This proves Naruto can both output.
It says, scaling generously, Mugetsu at most would be no more than 800 tetratrons or 800 million megatons versus the 27 trillion megatons that Naruto is capable of. I'm sorry, but this is just extremely OP, and I think they just showed Kurama Chakra Mode, it's called. When we go back and do the earlier part of the video, that's pretty much it. But suppose he put on... They don't even show this. Suppose he put on his Nine-Tails cloak, or went in a Nine-Tails avatar mode, I should say. You know, I always thought that he would become the Nine-Tails, but he actually does something a little different, I guess, and shrouds himself in the Nine-Tails cloak. But he does kind of look like a Nine-Tails, but it's just instead of looking like Kurama would, he's like surrounded by a Kurama-shaped black light. But it's still essentially his Bijou mode, and he can still use the Tailed Beast Ball, which is a OP attack on its own, capable of leveling mountain ranges, as they say in the earlier parts of this video, and probably would give Naruto even more of a defense boost.
And survive a blast stronger than Ichigo is capable of.
If you're thinking, wait, Boomstick, Ichigo survived a black hole in a box.
Now this I don't know, because I know the Kaguya one, but I don't know the they call him Waka Waka or Ewok, because I can't pronounce it either. I could pronounce it if I had seen the anime, but unfortunately the final chapters of Bleach did not get turned into an anime. Which I'm sad. I am sad of that.
Move doesn't really work like a black hole.
Plus, the 814 kiloton Frager blast did hurt him immediately after, so it must have been weaker than that.
But Wiz, weren't Kaguya and Waka Waka planet busters? Don't they scale to them?
Nope. Kaguya's planet-busting attack required chakra from nearly the entire Earth's population, not just her own. And while Yuok's power was pretty OP, he couldn't destroy the world through his own destructive capability. He only planned to manipulate the delicate balance between life and death by stopping the flow of souls. Like a plate spinning on a stick. If one side gets too heavy...
While Kaguya and Yuok victories were complicated, Naruto and Ichigo did not need to be capable of planet-busting.
The whole thing comes crashing down.
Sum it up.
Which is what makes me think Naruto could actually put up a good fight against Goku, by the way.
Ichigo had the speed, they both had the guts, and Naruto had the strength, durability, training, and abilities for days.
Is these some of the biggest titles in manga and...
So now we're just going to go back and quickly look at... I'm going to discuss what I think they got wrong or right and about Naruto and Ichigo when they originally discussed them.
Anime history.
And it's time for two of those shonen heroes to throw down.
Naruto Uzumaki, ninja prodigy of the Hidden Leaf.
And Ichigo Kurosaki, the enormously powerful Soul Reaper from Bleach. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Konoha, the village hidden in the leaves, is a pretty quiet town.
Not what I'd expect for a city full of ninja. Still, there was at least one troublemaker among the bunch. The #1 knucklehead ninja, Naruto Uzumaki.
I'm home, everyone!
They then immediately skip to showing Naruto in Naruto Shippuden. Okay.
Naruto Uzumaki has returned to the Hidden Leaf Village!
Orphaned at a young age and ostracized by his peers, Naruto may have been mischievous, but he had great aspirations. His goal was to become the town's Hokage.
Oops, I wanted to talk about that for a second. Let me... Oh, my computer. I paid $2,000 for the thing and it doesn't even work. It's supposed to be a gaming computer and has issues playing video files. Probably why I had such an issue doing it last night. Well, we're hitting the 30-minute mark. It's already going to be a lot shorter than it was last night. Just going to quickly go through, discuss these two things, and try to further defend why I believe Naruto won. And at the end of the video, we'll watch the battle one final time. If I can get this to load. Let's refresh the page.
You and your team need to get things done. With Monday.com, it's easy, fun, and simple. Just add the...
And ostracized by his peers.
So full name, Naruto Uzumaki, height 5'10". Oh, how about that? They must be talking about end of series Naruto. I'm 5'11". Weight, 112. Hey, I'm close to that too, 508. Nature Affinity, Wind Style, okay. Jinchuriki of Kurama. I like that when I first watched this video, I was really scared. I'll say it again. I was really scared they weren't going to acknowledge that. But the fact that they said Jinchuriki of Kurama and not just Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails means they had to have known that Naruto was friends with the Nine Tails in order to know his name. 7th Hokage of isn't it Kahona? Konohagurt, I can't pronounce that, sorry. Enjoys ramen, red bean soup, and water plants.
Naruto may have been mischievous, but he had great aspirations. His goal was to become the town's Hokage.
Which is a fancy word for ninja governor.
The only way Naruto could reach such a prestigious position was to excel in ninja school.
Like Ninja Harry Potter, though he should really find a place.
That joke still gets me. I laughed at it last night when I was doing the first live reaction attempt, and I just laughed at it again. what can I say? It's a funny joke.
That'll teach him not to dress like a clown and run like a real human being. What does he think he is, an airplane?
Actually, his posture likely decreases wind resistance, which could be beneficial when moving at superhuman speeds where angular momentum is a smaller factor.
I remember.
And I just checked, and it looks like my live reaction tonight is actually staying with me, and there's not a 5-minute audio lag. So I think tonight's reaction is going to be a lot better than last night's, and this one will be able to stay up.
When you ran like that in middle school.
Hey, that was for research.
By the way, Mythbusters did it, and or maybe it wasn't Mythbusters, but somewhere I saw it, and it said some people were able to run faster while others actually ran slower. My choice to believe, I've actually tried it myself. I was definitely a lot slower when I ran start off, but the more I would practice it, when I practiced it a lot, I found I was actually shaving a couple of seconds off. And as a skier, I take that stance anyway on skis, so I will choose to believe that it's true, but you have to master how to run it. You have to get used to it and master how to run it to shave a couple of seconds off. Still, I don't think it goes super speed like Naruto does.
Sure, Wiz. Anyway, while Naruto wasn't the best student, he still tried his hardest to reach his goals. But first, he'd have to learn how to control his chakra.
In Buddhism and Hinduism ideology,
large chakra reserves, superhuman strength and speed, accelerated healing, trained by Kakashi, Jiraiya, Fukasu, I don't know really who Fukasu is, must have been something small, and Killer Bee, because yes, Killer Bee was technically, I don't know if he's technically a trainer, but he is the one who showed Naruto how to essentially kind of beat the Nine Tails. I say kind of because the Nine Tails was still like inside of him, and it was the mother that helped him with that shrine gate, which will actually be mentioned here. Like kind of take control over, well, yes, take control over his power until Kurama came around and let him use it willingly. Anyway, all 5 nature styles: earth, fire, lightning, water, wind. Really, he can use fire? I knew lightning, water, and wind. Lightning too? Well, I haven't watched the show in a while, so I guess so. Keka Genkai, formally, yin and yang styles. Really? Whatever.
Chakras are, in simplistic terms, gates within the human body which can be opened to achieve enlightenment. But the ninja in Naruto's world had a slightly different interpretation.
I'll say, they weaponized it. Naruto can use chakra for all sorts of flashy attacks. He can heal himself, seal monsters away, walk up...
And by the way, if you want to see me explain the battle in more detail, I'm going to do that at the end of the video. I'm going to watch the battle one more time.
Or even stand on water like a ninja Jesus.
He's learned a number of chakra techniques, or jutsus,
Gesundheit,
and even developed a few new ones of his own.
Yes, this really happened in the show.
His signature move is the Shadow Clone.
So, yep, they got Shadow Clone, Transformation, Summon, and Rasengan. Rasengan Barrage, that's the one I mentioned where he uses his Shadow Clones. Ultra Big Ball Rasengan, Planetary Rasengan, I think he needs Kurama for that one. Sage Art, Magnus Release Rasengan, Wind Style Rasengan, Wind Release Rasen Shuriken, Ultra Big Beast Ball, Sage Art, Tailed Beast Ball Rasen Shuriken? I don't think so. I thought that there was a Tailed Beast Rasengan, not a Tailed Beast Rasen Shuriken. They might have gotten that wrong. Or I might be wrong. It might be a Rasen Shuriken that they launch. I'm pretty sure it's just a Rasengan that the Tailed Beast launches. But it's still super powerful compared to these.
Clone Jutsu, where he can copy and paste himself over and over and over again.
Unlike the standard clone technique, Shadow Clones are tangible with their own combat capabilities.
He can counter Genjutsu. I'm not sure about that. I don't remember if there was a moment in the anime where that actually happened. But go ahead and say that he can, you know.
Abilities. By dividing his chakra between himself and his clones, it's nearly impossible to distinguish the real Naruto from the fakes.
Nearly.
And he can get pretty tricky when he makes thousands of them. But when strategies can't save the day, he can always just beat his opponents down with the...
Like I said in the video last night, they take this from when he does a Rasengan Barrage in his battle with then just known as the Nine Tails, and beats him down, and that's basically how I was able to like pull Kurama's power out. Literally, I'd say, I don't know, 20, 30 episodes before, I don't know the exact number, before Naruto convinces him to willingly share the power and become friends. It's hard to explain. You'd have to watch this series. There really is like, one of the reasons I love the Naruto series is because of the development of the characters. And it's like characters that you start out hating, like the Nine Tails. I was so ready for Naruto to kill the Nine Tails, find some way to kill the Nine Tails as the series' final boss, and then I find out that's not what's going to happen. And lo and behold, Kurama actually became my favorite character. Yes, even more than Naruto. I love his like backstory and everything. Love him. I have a fan fiction. Events that happen after Naruto, where like now that Kurama's free, he wants to find a purpose in the world. Fanfiction.net if you want to read that.
Rasengan.
By spinning chakra in his hand, Naruto creates a compact ball of energy which can blast through solid stone. While the Rasengan usually takes years to learn, Naruto figured it out after training for just over a week.
He's invented more Rasengans than Willy Wonka's invented candies. But his top pick is the Rasen Shuriken. By combining the Rasengan with the element of wind, he uses it to turn the spinning ball into a spinning blade. This baby can trap you in a vortex of wind so sharp, it'll mess you up at a cellular level.
Naruto has plenty of other techniques up his orange sleeves, including summoning, substitution, and transformation jutsus. He can even transform into a naked woman.
Ho 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 ho! Looks like he's been studying. I guess that's one plus side to not having parents. You don't need to worry about anyone walking in on you.
Yeah, so he doesn't have parents. That's not one of the reasons I relate to him. I'm lucky enough to have both my parents. But I do have some... I'm not going to go into what they are, but I do kind of relate to Naruto because there were... well, I'll just really quickly, I have autism. And as a kid, I was actually teased. So for different reasons than him, obviously. But something was different about me, and people teased me about it. And I actually probably didn't have it as bad as Naruto. I didn't have a demon inside him, or what at the time was seen as a demon, and people mistreated me. I didn't have that.
While most individuals have chakra, everyone has a limit. The more physical and spiritual energy one possesses, the more chakra they'll have at their disposal.
Just like the gas tank from a chainsaw.
Thanks to his heritage, Naruto already has a great deal of chakra. Even still, he has far more than he reasonably should, all thanks to the beast within.
Yeah, he's got a monster in his stomach.
Let's backtrack a few years. On the day of Naruto's birth, his village was attacked by a chakra beast known as the Nine-Tailed Fox. A monster so destructive, a mere swing of its tails could level a mountain. In desperation, the Hokage at the time sacrificed himself to split the Nine-Tails.
So I know that looks bad for the Nine-Tails, but there is, as I said, a complicated story that kind of, I won't say justifies what he did. He still did the wrong thing, but it's like, you kind of feel sorry for the Nine-Tails when you find out the story. Not only that, but the night that he attacked the Hidden Leaf Village, he was actually placed under Madara's Genjutsu, so he couldn't control himself. To a certain point, I believe he escaped the Genjutsu, and then, you know, rather than trying to run away or anything, he decided to stupidly face up against Minato, who did this.
2002, sealing one half within his own son, Naruto.
So his first ever birthday gift to his son was a giant pet fox that can destroy cities? I wish he was my
Half of
dad.
the giant.
Eventually, Naruto discovered how to communicate with the Nine Tails.
They didn't get along at first. Foxy would threaten to eat Naruto. Naruto would whack him over the head with a big shrine gate. You know, typical roommate drama. Still, they eventually became friends, and Naruto learned the fox's name was Kurama.
Afterward, Kurama willingly shared his chakra with Naruto on a regular
Now I have one problem here. It's not here. No, it's in the next section.
basis. And as a being composed of chakra, Kurama's reserves are gigantic.
With so much power at his fingertips, Naruto can enter a bunch of different super forms.
Yes, he can.
First up is Sage Mode, which...
But that's not one of the ones he gains from chakra, and this is my one major issue with him. Sage Mode, he gets Sage Mode by...
Sounds like something he learned from an old wise man or wizard, right? Nope, he learned it from a frog.
This...
Correct. But he had not yet gained control of Kurama yet, or even fought him for that matter. He did not have control of the Nine Tails chakra, and this did not require the Nine Tails chakra. In fact, if you remember, if you're a fan of Naruto and you remember the fight where he versus Pain, it's actually Kurama's chakra coming out back when he was an enemy with Naruto that actually caused Naruto to, yes, it was more powerful than Sage Mode, but also since they were enemies at the time, Naruto lost control. So this Sage Mode does not go. There are this first Sage Mode, this first one only right here, does not go hand in hand with the Tailed Beast chakra.
This state increases all of Naruto's physical abilities. Furthermore, Sage Mode allows Naruto to perceive the...
So this is true. It does have a tailed version. Sage Mode, Senjutsu, gathers natural energy, senses surroundings. 6 past Sage Mode forms True Siege and Balls in Flight. That he did combine with Kurama's chakra, because by that point they were friends. But the original Sage Mode didn't use Kurama's chakra. And then Chakra Mode, they're going to mention this in a second, can summon Kurama as an avatar.
Entire area around him and tap into naturally occurring energy via Senjutsu.
He can enhance his chakra attacks by adding natural energy, but if he's not careful, he'll turn into a frog. No, I'm not kidding.
With Kurama's chakra, Naruto can enter multiple tailed beast forms, which drastically...
I don't think he enters that 4 tails tailed beast form anymore. It's kind of useless. That was back when Kurama would take over his body and kind of mix Naruto's thoughts with his. Naruto would be full of hatred, which later in the series, of course, he wants to get rid of all the hatred in the world. But for all intents and purposes, I actually think that's it. I don't think he uses that form anymore. In fact, I haven't seen him use that form since befriending Kurama.
Increases physical prowess and energy output.
Best of which is the Nine Tails Chakra Mode.
This was used after he took Kurama's power, but before knowing Kurama's name, he took the Nine Tails power and started using it on his own. But right now, at this point here, he hadn't actually befriended him. And they do get that right.
Flame on! It got even better when he befriended Mr. Fox, upgrading to the stronger, faster, tougher Kurama Chakra.
Yeah, the Kurama Chakra Mode, or KCM Mode. Everyone thinks it's QB Chakra Mode. It's not QB Chakra Mode, it's Kurama Chakra Mode. But KCM, and you can see that he does look different in KCM Mode than in his original Chakra Mode.
Chakra Mode.
Chakra Mode grants Naruto extra protection, a sense for negative emotions, and the ability to create additional chakra arms.
Fox, upgrading to the stronger, faster, tougher Kurama Chakra Mode.
Chakra Mode grants Naruto extra protection, a sense for negative emotions, and the ability to create additional chakra arms.
Whoa, that's a lot of hands. Gotta wonder what kind of things he does with those, right?
Overwhelming attacks, extra maneuverability, creating Rasen Shurikens, the works.
Yeah, that's not what I was. Ah, creepy tiny head!
Yeah, they use
He can also shroud himself in a 9-tails-sized avatar and use Kurama's ultimate attack, the Tailed Beast Bomb.
Yep.
So destructive, it can level a mountain range.
And for
Scale into the other Tailed Beast. The Tailed Beast Bomb max damage is 5 teratons or 5 million megatons. Huh, that's interesting.
its final form, it.
But there's also the Tailed Beast, Rasengan, or Rasen Shuriken, and they say Rasen Shuriken, I think it's Rasengan. That insanely powerful.
Spoiler time! Pay attention, cause, yeah.
Yes, they're gonna
All
mention
this
it now.
chakra stuff started with an alien named Kaguya, who ate a fruit which basically created chakra. Later, she got all murder happy, so her son stopped her. One of these sons, the Sage of Six Paths, had his own son named Ashura, and Naruto is a reincarnation
Correct.
of him. So yeah, Naruto's kind of an alien.
I don't know about alien, but I would say kind of a god.
Through this connection, Naruto was gifted the most divine form of energy,
Divine.
Six Paths Chakra. With it, he can enter Six Paths Sage Mode.
His strength gets boosted even more. He can fly, and he can use truth-seeking balls, which are orbs of chakra that can transform into weapons and destroy anything they touch.
He can combine all these forms and further add natural energy to his Kurama avatar to form Six Paths Ashura Kurama Sage Mode. Whew.
Good God, that's a confusing amount of forms.
And that's how Kurama can become so OP when combined with Naruto.
Anyway, Naruto is also an expert in hand-to-hand combat and could run faster than the eye could see when he was just 12 years old.
So now they
He
talk
has
about
dodged a lightning speed punch from the 4th Raikage, a feat considered comparable to his father, who could teleport.
He even dodged this light-speed loogie.
According to the 4th databook, this Light Fang attack does indeed move at light speed, over 670 million miles per hour.
He's tough enough to survive getting stabbed, have his soul ripped out, or get smacked in the face with a beam that can slice the frickin' moon apart.
He's fought multiple tailed beasts at once, lift a
So
step.
let's talk about his feat. Pulverized Madara's meteorites, dodged Madara's light fang, tanked Turner's mood, slice and blast, survived a Kurama defeated Hamura's golem. I don't remember that, but it must have happened. It's been a while since I watched the series. Fought Madara's window shadows. I remember Limbo shadows. Defeated Gaara, Pain. Those were without Kurama. Kaguya, Tonari, and Sasuke, those were with Kurama. Although, again, I don't know what Tonari is.
Statue weighing several hundred tons, survived a fall from the clouds, gone toe-to-toe with invisible limbo shadows, and pulverized 6 falling meteorites simultaneously. His chakra is so tough he can power through Amaterasu, a fire jutsu with flames so strong they burn other flames.
I'm going to be back in literally 1 minute. finish.
He can even make new eyeballs for blind people. What's up with that? Oh, and in his final fight with rival and possibly closet boyfriend Sasuke, their opposing power was so great they obliterated miles upon miles of land, changing the weather and disintegrating a lake.
Only then, after defeating Sasuke, saving the world from Kaguya, and reuniting the split halves of...
That's out of order. He actually first... he defeated Kaguya first, then actually I think he even united Kurama first, then defeated Kaguya, then defeated Sasuke. So I think they reversed the order there. Or I know technically he fought with his father, because his father had the yin half of Kurama. Of
Kurama, Naruto finally achieved his dream and became Hokage.
But he's still pretty dumb. I mean, he named his son Burrito.
Boruto.
Yeah, close enough.
I'm not gonna run away! I never go back on my word!
I won't be talking
That's
as
my
much
ninja!
for Bleach.
My ninja way!
As Bleach.
Shinigami. It may sound like a foreign word to some, but you all know what it is. The Death God, the Grim Reaper of Souls.
But I think this
And
video
a
is coming out a lot better.
17-year-old ginger with a badass sword.
Ichigo Kurosaki seemed like a pretty normal kid growing up, doing well in school and learning martial arts from his father. Except there was one little oddity. He could see ghosts.
Oh, it's like the kid from The Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
One day when he was 9 years old and walking home with his mother, young Ichigo noticed what he thought was a girl about to fall into a river.
So naturally, he ran over to rescue her like the brave little kid he was.
Except it wasn't really a girl at all. It was a hollow, a monster spawned from an abandoned human soul, and it promptly killed his mother.
Bummer. Reminds me of how I lost my poor mama boomstick. Oh, she always hated that ghost in the barn.
Right. Well, Ichigo remained ignorant of the truth until years later, when he met a woman named Rukia, who held the illustrious job title of Shinigami, or Soul Reaper, a guardian of the dead who keeps balance in the universe by helping those who have passed move on to the afterlife.
Really? Because that's not what the Shinigami in Death Note did. Just saying. Unless, well, the Death Note Shinigami probably was a totally different being. Still Shinigami, though. Did you know? Seriously, Death Note's another great anime that I loved, but it was short. It was the shorter one.
Otherwise, they'd turn into violent hollows.
And if you show up late to work and it doesn't work out, the Soul Reaper can always cut hollows down with their awesome swords, like Samurai Ghostbusters. Anyway, the two of them got into a bind, and Rukia had to share some of her power with Ichigo. Turns out, he was a surprise Soul Reaper all along. Convenient.
When accessing his Shinigami power, Ichigo leaves his physical body for a new one made up of Reishi, or spiritual matter, which makes him invisible to anyone in the living world, despite still being physically present.
And his new powers make him super deadly. He can move with blinding speed, cut through giant monsters with ease, survive being punched through whole city blocks, and even fly through the air.
It's more accurate to say he walks through the air, using naturally occurring reishi as footholds.
But let's get to the dicey part of his getup. That awesome sword. It's a ZANPAKUTO, a blade connected to its owner's soul. It may look like an oversized steak knife, but it's a Soul Reaper's best friend.
Every Shinigami possesses a ZANPAKUTO spirit within themselves, which manifests as their sword. Ichigo's is called Zangetsu. Well, both of them are.
Oh, here we go. Strap in, because this shit's about to get crazy.
Ichigo actually has two different ZANPAKUTO spirits drawn from his weird and confusing heritage.
Alright, so long story short, Ichigo's a Soul Reaper because his dad is too. But he's also part Quincy, which is a human with reishi powers, because that's what his mom was. But he's also part Hollow, because his mom was possessed by a Hollow called White, and White got passed on to him when he was born. Oh, and he's also part Fullbringer,
But nobody cares about that. Didn't they say that?
Nobody cares about Fullbringers.
One of Ichigo's inner spirits is a manifestation of his Quincy side inherited from his mother, while the other is a fusion of his Shinigami power and the Hollow. Unfortunately, Shinigami
and that second one is the more powerful one. or more popular is what I meant to say, because that's the one that I really remember. Quincy Sengetsu limited to Ichigo's Shinigami power in an attempt to keep him from... Oh, the Quincy Sengetsu even limited Ichigo's Shinigami power in an attempt to keep him from fighting. Obviously that didn't go as planned.
Quincy go together like oil and water.
While trying to find a balance between these two sides, Ichigo learned plenty of neat techniques, like his bread and butter attack, the Getsuga Tensho.
By concentrating his Reiatsu, or spiritual pressure, through his sword.
Then again, they did say the Shadow Clone was Naruto's bread and butter, but he had more powerful attacks than that, so...
Ichigo can launch a massive slashing attack.
Call it like it is, Wiz. It's a sword beam, and Ichigo can charge it up, fire from up close, or even blast two of them at once.
From his Quincy side, Ichigo has used Blut Vina, a temporary defense which grants inhuman durability. From his Shinigami training, he developed exceptional sword skills and learned Shunpo, or Flash Step, which greatly enhances his speed.
But there's one really big deal we haven't talked about yet.
Over the course of his career battling hollows and protecting his friends, Ichigo has attained many different superpowered forms, starting with the base Shinigami form, Shikai. Despite essentially being Ichigo's base, this form is strong enough to block an attack from the Sokyoku, said to have power equal to 1 million Zanpakuto.
The next step was Bankai. Normally it takes 10 years to reach this form, but Ichigo did it in just 2 days, like a boss.
When using Bankai, one's power can grow anywhere from 5 to 10 times greater. And according to the official databook, while in Bankai, Ichigo moves like lightning.
Wait, why does his sword shrink when he goes Bankai? Shouldn't it be bigger since he's stronger?
Technically, yes, but Ichigo can control its size to keep it more manageable. If Shinigami couldn't minimize their blades, some would have swords the size of skyscrapers.
Awesome! Anyway, the hollow inside wanted a piece of the action too, so Ichigo gained a new power boost with a swoopy hollow mask. This form is strong enough to lift 5 iron pillars, each weighing nearly 100 tons.
Though if he's not careful, the hollow can take control of his body, sending him into a violent berserker state commonly referred to as Vastolorde. Despite the lack of consciousness, Vastolorde Ichigo could heal quickly and was strong enough to overcome Ukiura, who's powerful enough to nuke a city.
After some quality training with his dad, Ichigo got a sort of second Bankai, which most people call Dangai Ichigo. In this form, he shattered mountains without even trying. He broke through the Black Coffin attack, which distorts time and space, which sounds like a black hole. Right after that, he survived a shot...
But it's not a black hole. And I'm just going to say right here that a lot of people say they didn't see Dangai Ichigo in the fight. Screw Attack, they did do a... they could have probably made the fight a little longer. They didn't show every form of... a bunch of Naruto fans will show out. They didn't show every form of Naruto either. So yes, Ichigo has many more forms. But I think they just went with... They chose a couple forms, tried to do what they thought was going to be best.
So friggin' big, the explosion could be seen for miles.
By comparing this crater to those left by real-life bomb tests, I'd estimate the attack to have a maximum explosive yield of 814 kilotons of TNT.
I love this joke.
That's like Ichigo surviving 54 little boys to the face. No. I meant the bomb from 1945, not the... Oh, God.
Try as those little boys might, all it did to Ichigo was burn his arm, and he didn't even care. This guy isn't the type to give up.
For his ultimate attack, Dangai Ichigo literally becomes the Getsuga Tensho itself. I know that's confusing, but just roll with it. To summon the incredibly powerful Mugetsu,
which busted up one of the biggest baddies in the whole series. But it also sacrificed all of Ichigo's powers. Well, that's a raw deal, but 17 months later he managed to get them back with Fullbringer powers, which enhanced his physical abilities. But then he lost those too.
It's worth noting that while in Fullbringer
and that was where the anime ended, pretty much.
His normal sword swings were as strong as his old Getsuga Tensho.
But he still didn't give up. After training with some top-tier Soul Reapers and eating some food which gave him Super Reiatsu, the moment came. In the most epic quenching of all time.
So this is obviously manga that I unfortunately Still, I've not read, but I've seen the video so many times that I'm coming to understand it.
An entire sea disintegrated to form his new true Shikai, complete with not one, but 2 Zangetsu swords.
Finally balancing the Shinigami, the Hollow, and the Quincy within, Ichigo had reached his full potential. He tamed his Vastolorde form, merging it with his Quincy side. In this form, he can combine his Getsuga Tensho with one of the strongest Hollow attacks, the Gran Rey Sero.
He also made a trip that normally takes a week in only 9 hours and 15 minutes.
And last but not least, he achieved a brand new level of Bankai,
which was immediately crushed by some old dude who planned to destroy the universe named... Ewok?
So that Bankai was crushed?
Ewok?
It's probably inspired by the Hebrew name for God, Yahweh, and the katakana ends with a sharp k sound, so... Yowok?
Yeah, what you gonna do? Well, we can assume this Bankai worked similar to his old ones, increasing his physical speed and strength along with his Ryatsu tenfold. Even without his Bankai, he still cut Mustache Man to shreds.
Which they did.
And then he lived happily ever after.
Doing the times 10?
Until his kid became a Soul Reaper.
Yeah, what'd he name him? Bitchigo?
What? No, it's Kazui.
They did consider that in the
I might have got it mixed up with the other, Enchilada Kid or whatever.
Close enough.
Now I'm Ichigo Kurosaki, substitute Soul Reaper. And I'm combining my powerful spirit energy.
So then we'll end the video. So it of course opens up with Naruto just kind of... You think he's meditating. I've seen a lot of We're going to talk about what I've been seeing from reactors. We talk about some reactors who don't know, think that he's meditating. Not Naruto.
What's that energy? Is that a hollow?
Naruto, I sense a presence.
Many people have, starting last night, I actually noticed someone points out that now Ichigo is probably sensing Kurama somehow, and mistakenly thinks it's a hollow. But it's not, of course.
Naruto, wake up.
So of course he's not meditating, he is sleeping, like taking a nap. And that's typical Naruto. I am a little sad that they used Naruto's beginning of the series sprite. Fight. So they immediately start out with him unable to see him.
You can't see me? Good.
I knew they were gonna immediately, when I first watched it, I knew they were gonna immediately with the next step, whatever it was. So that our eyes can play with each other.
Quit running, coward!
Naruto, keep moving. I'll direct you.
I have to say, I am super thrilled that they used Kurama as much as they did in this. Because they just acknowledge, that acknowledges that Naruto has Kurama's power, and B, that Kurama's my favorite character, and I think he's so underused in the Naruto series. He is part of the reason why Naruto is so OP, but, you know.
You're dead!
I knew that had to be shot.
Hell the heck?
I see you.
Now remember, he doesn't really see Ichigo. He senses his presence. I don't know. Maybe in that mode he can actually kind of see, sense what Ichigo looks like. So technically, for all intents and purposes, can see him. But the point is, any which way, he does have the ability to land a hit on Ichigo. So Bleach fans who say that that's impossible, no, it's not.
Bring it on! Getsuga Jutsu!
He's already in KCM mode too.
Transform!
again, if you look at that real for literally 1 second, it looks like for literally 1 second Ichigo is tricked. And then it only takes him literally 1 second to realize, wait a minute, that was just Naruto, and I don't know how, but he transformed into a girl, and he realizes it's a trick. But a lot of people were saying that's not going to work, and yeah, it doesn't work, but I think for 1 second he almost believed it. Almost. And I do like the fan service here with the sexy jutsu.
Really?
Now they go to this. I thought this is where the fight gets going.
Yo, not bad, but I'm still gonna beat your ass.
Serious now. When I first saw the fight, as you saw when I originally did the reaction early at the start of the video, towards the start of the video, I originally thought, oh no, they're sending Naruto in Kurama mode already. And I had totally forgotten about how he has essentially 2 forms of Kurama mode. The traditional Kurama mode that he learned right after he became friends, and then the mode where he infuses his sage power and becomes even more powerful. But I honestly thought that at this point in time, like, Ichigo was going to pull out some big stop and win.
Freaking break. Is that the best you can do?
The second he said that, the second he pulled out Mugetsu, I was like, that's it. They're gonna give it to Naruto. I mean to him. They're gonna have to leave him. I knew it. I just knew it. I was shaken when I first watched this, and then they did this out of nowhere. I was like, what? And the fact that they had changed the audio, honestly, the fact that they changed the audio, I thought meant each of them was going to have one final attack. I thought it meant that Naruto was going to have a final attack, and then Ichigo was going to have some last final attack that was going to win it for him. Then I remembered what happened with Mugetsu. This made a little more sense last night. I thought about that after the video. Like,
Screw you, bastard!
I remember seeing this and saying, Naruto.
Who was that guy?
It's awesome.
KO!
Now, obviously, there have been a lot of Sour Bleach fans. So for those Bleach fans that have actually been not so sour or have taken it nicely, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being civil about it. And even the ones who are kind of salty, fine. Just don't turn into hate comments. Let's see. How long ago did I... last night my stream went for 1 hour and 5 minutes. And I've gone longer than last night. We'll clock it at 1 hour and 10 minutes. I just want to say that they did a really great job with this battle. Actually, it's going to go over 1 hour and 10 minutes because I'm 15 minutes behind. I just want to say they did a great job with this battle. And I really believe that they are correct in Naruto will win, and anybody who says Ichigo could beat Naruto, I'm just going to point them to this battle. KO Ichigo. Winner, Naruto. Alright, so I know there's going to be a lot of hate, and for the people who watch this video, I would highly recommend you still go. This has definitely been one of the longer reaction videos because it's not just a reaction. It's a total discussion. I've seen 40, 50-minute videos out there, and this has been kind of, it's like my cinematic critic reviews where I analyze things, and I have analyzed things. Oh, and you didn't see this, but I've actually been wearing my Naruto and, oh, come on, can't see, can I? Oh, I'm gonna have to sit up for this. 2 years ago when I was at Rhode Island Comic-Con, I found this shirt, and I had never purchased anything Naruto, but when I saw this shirt and it had Naruto and my favorite character KURAMA on it, I was like, gotta have it. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I know this went a lot longer. Well, not a lot longer, but I know this has gone 5 minutes longer than the one last night. But I feel like it actually probably is a little better than the one I did last night. And this one will stay up, provided that YouTube doesn't totally screw up the thing last night, the streaming last night. I'll just have to remember for now on when I use XSplit to stream in 480. That's actually it's probably my internet, but not my computer or YouTube. YouTube has problems, but I don't think that's one of them. But Naruto versus Ichigo, final thoughts. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this makes perfect sense. I still want to see Naruto versus Goku at some point. Come on, it would at least be an epic fight. Even if they just did what they did here. And it's like, even though Naruto clearly wins, according to the math, they still have a great fight. So, like, even if by some chance the math proves that Goku would kick Naruto's butt, I'd still love to see the fight happen. Just saying. But Naruto versus Ichigo, that's it. We're at an end, guys. There's going to be arguments. There's going to be reaction videos. I myself am actually thinking of making something of this bsperoz channel. It's going to become reaction to game, and I've got my VR headset that I'm going to be doing. Essentially, I'll be live streaming them on Facebook, and I'll make this announcement in my own video as well. But I'm going to be live streaming on Facebook, then downloading the Facebook videos and uploading them to YouTube, and essentially making bsperoz a VR gaming channel. Not super heavy duty. I only use the Samsung Gear VR, but I could also do reaction videos like this, because this is actually really fun for me to do, really fun to watch. And next time I do one, it will be a legitimate reaction. If I planned, I haven't. When I see a battle I like, I'll do a legitimate reaction. I'll keep an eye out for them. I really have a problem with the people who can't accept this result and have no reason to prove it. Like, if there's a Bleach fan that wants to give me hard evidence that Ichigo should have won, which I've actually yet to see. You see these. If you go back there for one more second, you see like this guy here. Ichigo versus Naruto versus Ichigo debunked. Yes, I did not watch the whole video, as you can tell, but this whole 2/3 that I've watched, he doesn't present any facts. He does do a discussion like this, but not even I haven't presented any facts. I'm going by the facts that they gave me, and the facts that they did do research on. And that's why I trust SCREWATTACK when they say that he won. Or when if a character I like loses. Like if they did Goku versus Naruto when they showed facts to back up that Goku would win, then I would have to accept that. But in this case, Bleach fans should be accepting it. They've got plenty of facts to back up Naruto's victory. And I think that's the problem. And I mean, bowl series are over. Besides, I'm hearing rumors that Boruto's going to even surpass his father someday. I don't know about that. I can't even get into the Boruto series. I still love Bleach. I would still love to see those final chapters turned into a finished anime, you know? like finish the anime with those final chapters. Do a spin-off of his kid even. Have his kid become more powerful and have his kid rival Boruto if Boruto becomes more powerful than Naruto, and if not, have him rival Naruto. By all means. But I'm going to call it, you guys, because this has already gone on longer than last night. And now we're going to enter thing, or like I was about to say, yeah, better than last night, so I've entered the repetitiveness. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. Hope you guys have a great time. If nothing else, I hope that you guys had a great time watching the fight. I hope you liked my reaction video. If you did, like and subscribe. Also check out my Cinematic Critic page where I do not 1 hour but 20-minute reviews for videos, kind of like the Nostalgia Critic. And keep an eye out because I plan to use this bsperoz channel for... Well, keep an eye out. I'm going to create a page for my VR gaming sessions, and I'll live stream to my personal Facebook page and then put them on the page. Or maybe I'll try to live stream to... Well, I can't because you have to do it from inside the Gear VR. But I'll live stream and then I'll put them on the official Facebook page of whatever I create, and then I'll also put them on YouTube. Well, guys, it's 9:30. I got to work tomorrow, so I'm going to really call it for real this time. See, normally I have something to do, like when I do Cinematic Critic and I know I want to end it, I just say Cinematic Critic signing out, so like I did last night. bsperoz signing out. And I forgot that there's actually a delay here, so try it again.